Let's continue with our discussion, no, for civil procedure. No? So, katatapos lang natin sa modes of discovery. Ang next nating topics, trial, demurrer to evidence, judgment, judgment on the pleading, summary judgment, at saka motion for reconsideration and no trial. No? After nito, pwede na tayong pupunta sa nasa appeals na tayo pagkatapos. Okay. So, trial, no? Walang masyadong maraming natatanong sa bar sa Rule 30, no? Pero ito lang po ang kailangan nating i-note kasi mas mahigpit na po ngayon ang postponement, no? Dati mas madaling magkaroon ng postponement ng trial, no? Ngayon, limited na po yung grounds in order to postpone the trial. So, tatlo lang po, no? Acts of God, force majeure, or physical inability of the witness to appear and testify. Kasali rin no additional ground po Section 3 Rule 30, illness of a party or counsel, which is correct kasi paano pag nagkaroon ng COVID? Diba? Paano pag nagkaroon ng lagnat? Of course, yung lawyer, of course, you cannot attend the trial. So the trial must be postponed and rescheduled to another hearing date. No? So limited lang po dyan, no? Hindi po pwede yung failure to obtain witnesses. Hindi pwede ganyan postponement. No? Hindi pwede. Tutuloy po ang trial. So, pag wala kang may present na witness, talo ka. Di ba? Kung ito yung plaintiff, no? Baka nga maano ka dyan eh. Madismissan ka na agad. No? Okay. So, ano po ang mga kailangan na requirements, no? In order to postpone the trial on the ground of illness, no? Of the party or the counsel, no? Dapat merong affidavit or sworn certification showing the presence of such party or counsel at the trial is indispensable and that the character of his illness is such as to render his non-attendance excusable. So, aside from the affidavit po, no, normally mag-a-attach dapat ng medical certificate dun sa affidavit. In order to prove that meritorious yung ground to postpone the hearing. Okay? Sige. Ngayon, let's go to the order of trial. Alam naman natin na ang general rule, ang plaintiff ang unang magpe-present. After that, defendant. No? However, nagkakaroon po ng reverse trial na tinatawag or reverse order of trial. How does this happen? No? Where the answer of the defendant admitted the obligation stated in the complaint, although special defenses were pleaded, the plaintiff has every right to insist that it was for the defendant to come forward with evidence to support his special defenses. Anyway, matatanong to sa evidence later on, no? Differentiate burden of evidence at saka burden of proof. Of course, yung mga allegations sa complaint, burden of proof po nung plaintiff. Diba? And it is his burden to prove the allegations, diba? That he has a cause of action against the defendant. However, in this scenario po kasi, inadmit na nung defendant yung allegation pero nag-present siya ng affirmative defenses. So in an action for collection of sum of money, inamin na may contract of loan. Inamin. Di ba? Pero may affirmative defense siya. I already paid the contract of loan. Kung ano may amount na yan with the interest, binayaran ko na po, sabi ng defendant. So the defendant will now have the burden of evidence or burden of coming forward with the evidence. Pero ang burden of proof po nasa plaintiff. Since inamin mo, okay na yung burden of proof ng plaintiff. Kung hindi mo mapatunayan na nagkaroon ng payment, talo ka talaga dyan. Diba? The judgment will be rendered in favor of the plaintiff kasi inamin mong may loan eh. Anyways, ganun yun, no? So, if that is the case, ang una pong magpe-present, ang unang magdi-direct exam, defendant. And then cross-examination ng plaintiff, and then redirect, recross. After nun, once na i-present, nakapag-offer na ng exhibits yung defendant, and he rested this case, yung plaintiff naman po magpe-present. Direct ulit, cross, redirect, recross, and then rest. Diba? So, nagkakaroon ng order to submit memorandum, and then magkakaroon na ng judgment later on. That's how it works. No? Okay. Ito na po example na sinabi ko lang sa inyo earlier, no? Just read this example. So, ganun po, no? The burden of proof does not swing, di ba? Does not go to the other side. Diba? The burden of proof stays with the plaintiff in this scenario. Pero the burden of evidence, ito nag-shift. It shifts, no? From one party to the other, depending on the flow of the case. O, diba? Sabi ko nga, nag-amin ka inamin mo eh. So, dapat ikaw na may burden of evidence as the defendant. Okay, let's move to the next topic, no? Yung mga mas important talaga. Rule 33, demurrer to evidence, no? Madalas po natatanong to, no? Isang cluster to. Demurrer to evidence, judgment on the pleadings, at saka summary judgment. Malimit pong tinatanong yan. No? Why? Kasi madali pong gawa ng tanong. At maiksi lang po yung provisions ng rules. So, masarap gawa ng tanong kasi kailangan intindihin ng estudyante ko ano ba yung mga principles na to. No? Especially ngayon 2019 amendments to, may mga bagong features na nilagay sa Rule 33 at saka sa judgment on the pleading, saka summary judgment na wala nung before amendment. Malalaman natin. Okay, so what's the ground for demurrer to evidence, no? The plaintiff has no right to relief. No? In other words, no, insufficiency of evidence, no? The evidence to prove his cause of action was insufficient, no? So who files this? Demurrer po ang nagpa-file, defendant. Kung sa criminal case, accused. Sila po ang nagpa-file. Never po magpa-file ng demurrer to evidence ang plaintiff. Kasi ang plaintiff nga, yung ang tag dito, ang ground nga po ng demurrer to evidence is insufficiency to prove yung insufficiency of evidence to prove the cause of action of the plaintiff. So magde-demurrer ka na. So instead of presenting your own evidence, matapos na po yung kaso, since yung plaintiff hindi naman din na ipatunayan yung cause of action niya in the first place. Yun yan. Okay, so what's the effect if the motion for demurrer to evidence was granted? What will happen? The dismissal would be with prejudice. Adjudication on the merits na po. Kasi, pag ginrant po ng court yan, that means you do not have enough evidence to prove your cause of action, to prove the allegations in the case. So, adjudication on the merits na yan. Diba? So, what's the remedy of the plaintiff? Siyempre, pwede ka mag-MR muna. No? And later on, pwede ka nang mag-appeal. Kasi nga, final order na yan. Final judgment na yan. However, no, ano naman yung magiging downside no, pag nag-demurrer ka in a civil case with respect to the defendant? Ang advantage mo, pwede kang manalo, hindi mo na kailangan mag-present ng evidence. Diba? So, hindi na mahirap. No? What's the disadvantage? Ito po. If the motion for demurrer to evidence was granted, but on appeal, it was reversed, the defendant shall be deemed to have waived the right to present evidence. Nag-grant yung motion, so na-dismiss yung kaso sa trial court, in-appeal sa Court of Appeals, ni-reverse ng Court of Appeals, sabi may sufficient cause of action si plaintiff against the defendant. O, so ngayon, with that being said, can the defendant still present evidence to counter yung evidence ng plaintiff before the appellate court? Hindi na. The defendant shall be deemed to have waived the right to present evidence. So essentially, talo yung defendant. Wala siyang evidence eh. Lahat ng evidence on record nasa plaintiff. Tapos sasabihin ng appellate court mayroong sufficient cause of action. Patay. Diba? Okay. So examples, no? Dalawa. Mr. A filed an action for collection of sum of money against P. After the presentation of evidence by A, B filed a motion for demurrer to evidence. The trial court granted the motion and dismissed the case. What's the remedy of A? Mr. A can file a motion for reconsideration. If the motion is denied, he can then appeal the judgment because the dismissal was tantamount to adjudication on the merits. It's a final order that completely disposed of the case. Okay. Now, Same facts, no? Similar facts, so dagdagan lang natin ng konti. So, Mr. B filed a motion for demerit to evidence. The trial court granted the motion and dismissed the case. Within 15 days from the notice of judgment, service of the notice of judgment, so Mr. A filed a notice of appeal with the trial court. Later, the appellate court reversed the decision of the trial court, no? Can Mr. B present his evidence before the appellate court? No. Mr. B cannot present his evidence before the appellate court. Why? Kasi under the rules, if the motion for demerit to evidence was granted but on appeal it was reversed, the defendant shall be deemed to have waived the right to present evidence. Okay? It doesn't matter if the court with appellate jurisdiction is the RTC or the CA. Pag po RTC ang appellate court, ibig sabihin yung original court, MTC. Nag-appeal ka ngayon sa RTC. The RTC is also an appellate court. Di ba? In that scenario, kasi the RTC exercised its exclusive appellate jurisdiction when it reviews judgments, final orders from the municipal trial court or the first level court. So it doesn't matter. In either scenario, Mr. B shall be deemed to have waived his right to present evidence. I predict hindi po kayo dyan matatanong kasi masyadong madali ang sagot. Matatanong po kayo dyan kasi ito rin ang special feature ng new feature ng 2019 amendments, no? If the motion is denied. Kung matatanong po kayo sa demerit dito, with respect to demerit to evidence in civil cases, no? Iba kasi yung demerit sa criminal cases, eh. No? Iba yun, no? Iba yun. Later on na lang natin itatakal sa criminal procedure yun. Kung matatanong mo kayo sa demerit in civil cases, dito po malamang yan sa what if the motion was denied by the trial court? What is the remedy? What will happen? Diba? What will happen? If the motion is denied, the defendant must present his evidence. So tuloy tayo sa direct examination of the witnesses of the defendant. And then cross, direct, recross, and then later on, offer siya ng exhibits niya. Okay? The denial is not subject to appeal, certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus. Kung matatanong kayo dito. Okay? Dito yan. Sabihin natin, na-deny yung motion. Pwede bang i-MR? Pwede. Hindi naman sinabing bawal under Section 2, Rule 33. After mo mag-MR, pwede mo bang i-appeal? Malamang hindi kasi that's not a final order. It's an interlocutory order because the order denying the motion did not completely dispose of the case. It did not. Tuloy ang kaso eh. Di ba? As opposed if the motion is granted, now it completely disposed of the case kasi sinabi na ng court na wala kang cause of action against the defendant. Di ba? Magkaiba po. Okay. Pwede bang i-certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus? Hindi din. Section 2, Rule 33. So, wala pong choice yung defendant na iakyat yan agad sa appellate court, sa higher court. Wala siyang choice. Ano lang ang remedies niya? Pwede mag-MR and or proceed with the hearing, no? And raise the insufficiency of evidence on appeal after a judgment on the merits. Yun. So, MR, pag ayaw pa rin talaga, denied pa rin yung MR, you have to proceed with the hearing. Okay? And raise the insufficiency of evidence on appeal. No? Sabihin mo yun ulit, i-reiterate na yung position mo dun sa appellant's brief mo. O appellant's brief with the appellate court. No? Raise mo ulit. Ganun ang style. No? So, examples ulit, no? Tatlo. Ay, isa lang pala. Tatlo yung sub-questions. Mr. A filed an action for collection of sum of money against B. After the presentation of evidence by A, B filed a motion for demerit to evidence na deny ang motion. What's the remedy of B? Motion for reconsideration. If the motion is denied, Mr. B must present his evidence during trial. If the trial court rendered a judgment against B, Mr. B can raise the insufficiency of evidence on appeal after a judgment on the merits. No? So, kung matatalo siya sa trial court, sabihin natin na deny yung motion niya, nag-present siya ng evidence, talo pa siya. Siyempre, pag tanalo na siya, walang problema. Di ba? Tapos Tapos, ang usapan, di ba? Kung natalo siya, at saka niya i-reiterate niya yung insufficiency of evidence on appeal after a judgment on the merits. Or kung mag-a-appeal man yung kabilang party, sabihin natin plaintiff nag-appeal, di doon sa appellee's brief mo, ilagay mo ulit na insufficient yung evidence. No? Either way, basta pag nagkaroon ng appeal, whether the plaintiff or the defendant, erase mo na lang, reiterate your position. No? Pero hindi mo pwedeng gawin yan na mag-a-appeal ka after the denial of the motion o magsesersuary ka after the denial of the motion. Hindi pwede. Why? Kasi that's cause of delay din kasi yan. Di ba? Kung mapapansin nyo, mo, naipakita na lahat ng plaintiff yung baraha niya. Naipakita niya na lahat. No? Lahat of exhibits niya, witnesses niya, ano yung laman ng testimony ng witnesses niya, napakita niya na lahat. Tapos magde-demarker ka. Yung baraha mo, di pa niya nakikita. Diba? And then later on, after mong na-deny yung motion mo, makakapag-certiorari ka pa. Tapos gagawin, may pagkakataon na appellate court, baka i-TRO yung hearing ng trial court. So, stop yun. Di ba? Hindi ka makakapag-hearing kasi may TRO from the appellate court. Sabi ng appellate court, there's an order na they first dispose muna yung certiorari bago po mag-proceed yung hearings before the lower court. What's gonna happen? Napakatagal na ng panahon. Di ba? Napaka-unfair, napakatagal ng panahon ng defendant para ma-prep yung position niya, yung basically yung strategy niya in presenting his evidence. Yet itong plaintiff, na-present niya na lahat ng gusto niya sabihin. That's unfair. Di ba? Lugi-lugi yung plaintiff talaga. Di ba? Kasi na-delay na yung niya, kung meron man siyang award, na-delay na yung award niya kasi na-stop nga yung pleading, ay yung hearing. At the same time, mas lalo pang gaganda yung evidence ng defendant. Kasi ang tagal ng prep time niya eh. Yan po ang pine-prevent. Kaya hindi ka pwedeng mag-certiorari. Tatagal kasi ng tatagal, lugi na yung plaintiff. Diba? O di wag mong lagyan ng certiorari, hindi ka rin pwede mag-appeal. Wala kang choice but to proceed. O di pantay tayo. And then kung talagang totoong pinaglalaban mo na may insufficiency of evidence, i-raise mo sa appeal. Pero during that time, walang nalugi. Diba? Equal footing kayo. Walang nabigyan ng extra time to form his strategy. Pareho kayo ng timeline. Diba? Okay. So, can the denial of the motion for demerit to evidence be appealed? No. Kasi interlocutory order. Not appealable. Sa kasabi rin po ng Section 2, Rule 33. Section 2 nga ba? Yes. Okay? Hindi rin pwedeng i-certiorari. No? This promotes a speedy and expeditious disposition of cases. Ay, nilagay ko rito, no? Distinguish demerit to evidence in a civil case and demerit to evidence in a criminal case. Basahin muna natin to, no? Nilagay ko na rin dito, ilalagay ko rin kasi sa criminal procedure yan para ma-reiterate, no? So, read this one, no? Pero, sige. There are four distinctions between them. No? So, unang-una sa civil case, makikita nyo naman sa Section 1, Rule 33, wala pong nakasulat na leave of court. You don't have to seek an approval from the court to file the motion. Unlike sa criminal cases, malalaman nyo later on, pwedeng mag-file ng motion for leave. Tapos saka ka mag-file ng demarker. Or, pwede ka rin namang mag-file na agad ng demarker to evidence. So, diretsahan na. Wala nang motion for leave of court. Okay? Next, if the motion was granted, the judgment of the trial court is appealable. Sabihin natin, nag-grant yung demarker, talo yung plaintiff. O pwede mag-appeal yung plaintiff within 15 days from service of notice of judgment. No? On the other hand, sa criminal cases, hindi pwede na yung prosecution mag-a-appeal once the demarker was granted. Why? Kasi double jeopardy. Next, if the motion was denied, the defendant must present his evidence. No? Yun nga yung remedy sa di ba? Sa civil cases. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-certiorari, hindi ka pwedeng mag-appeal. MR lang at saka you need to go forward with the case. No? Okay. Criminal cases, if the motion was denied and there was no prior leave of court, the accused cannot present his evidence. If the motion was denied, no, and there was prior leave of court, the accused can present his evidence. Okay? Last, the court cannot motu proprio make a demurrer in civil cases. Dapat may motion po ng defendant, while in criminal cases, pwede. Okay. Next tayo, no, judgment on the pleadings. Ito pong judgment on the pleadings, we need to study this one sa bayan po ng summary judgment. Kasi nagkakaroon po tayo lagi ng confusion kung ano ba ang fails to tender an issue at saka no genuine issue of any material fact on any material fact. Yun naman nasa Rule 35 yun. So sa Rule 34, no issue sa summary judgment, no genuine issue as to any material fact. Yung po mga examinees natin, mga students, they cannot differentiate the two. At doon talaga ina-attack sa bar question, yun talaga yung ina-attack ng bar question to test yung comprehension, yung expertise ng examinee. If you know the difference between the two. No? Kaya ito lagi itong tinatanong sa bar. No? Okay, sige. So, as I said, ang judgment on the pleadings may ground, no? May grounds. Fails to tender an issue or admits the material allegations of the adverse parties pleading. In short, fails to tender an issue. Okay? So, who files itong judgment on the pleadings? The plaintiff files the motion for judgment on the pleadings. The defendant does not. Why? Kasi yun ang ground eh. If the answer fails to tender an issue, panalo na yung plaintiff kasi inamin lahat. Di ba? Or the answer admits the material allegations of the adverse parties pleading, panalo na yung plaintiff. So who files this motion? The plaintiff, not the defendant. Okay? Yung demurrer naman po, defendant ang nagpapile, hindi plaintiff. Okay. Gawa tayo ng examples. No? Ito may example tayo isa. Miss A filed a complaint for damages against B, alleging that Miss B negligently caused the demolition of her house's concrete fence, the top half of which fell on the front portion of Miss A's car and permanently damaged its engine. In her answer, Miss B denied any personal liability for the damage caused to Miss A's car, averring that she merely acquiesced to the advice of her contractor, XYZ Construction Company, to have the concrete fence demolished. Thus, damages, if any, should be collected from XYZ, not from her. So, ano ginawa ni Miss A? Nag-file lang motion for judgment on the pleadings, alleging that Miss B's statement in her answer is actually a negative pregnant. Miss B opposed the motion, reiterating her defense in her answer, which purportedly rendered judgment on the pleadings improper. Miss B also moved, anyway, di na kailangan yung last. So, question is Miss A's motion for judgment on the pleadings proper? By the way, this is a bar question. If I can recall correctly, 2019 bar to. No? So, is Miss B's motion for judgment on the pleadings proper? The answer is yes. Why? Tingnan natin yung allegation sa answer ni Miss B. Was there even a denial? Was there a specific denial? Was there a negative defense? Was there a denial by disavowal of knowledge? Was there even partial denial? There's none. Kung basahin natin, no? Dininay niya. Oh. Under the rules. Basic. How do you make a specific denial? How do you make it? So it's a negative defense, di ba? Specific denial. Oh, specific denial, this is how you do it. No? Under Rule 8. A defendant must specify each material allegation of fact, the truth of which he does not admit, and shall set forth the substance of the matters upon which he relies to support his denial. Tingnan natin in this scenario. Dininay nga niya. But was it even a specific denial? Did she set forth the substance of the matters upon which he realized to support his denial o her denial pala? She did not. Sinabi lang niya, hindi dapat siya ang liable kasi ginawa lang niya advice ng contractor niya. So, dapat yung contractor niya ang kolektahan ng damages, hindi siya. Pero hindi niya dininay na hindi siya negligent. Hindi niya dininay na nasira talaga yung kotse ni Miss A. Yun ang allegation ni Miss A. Di ba? Hindi niya dininay na nagkaroon ng demolition ng concrete fence na tumama yung front portion sa kotse ni Miss A, permanently damaging its engine. Hindi yun ang dininay niya. Ang ginawa niya, dininay niya, pero ang 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 allegation niya hindi naman hindi naman dinedeny yung allegations ng complaint. It's a denial, but then she is seeking indemnity, contribution, reimbursement from XYZ Construction Company. So it's not actually a specific denial. It's not. It's not a negative defense. Well, it's a negative defense, but hindi po na-comply requirements for specific denial. Because she did not deny, ulitin ko, she did not deny the allegations of the complaint. She just passed on the burden, she just passed on the possible liability to another person. So, motion for judgment on the pleadings would be proper. Diba? It's proper. Miss B did not specifically deny the allegation of Miss A that she negligently caused the damages to Miss A's car and permanently damaged its engine. She merely alleged that she acquiesced to the advice of XYZ Construction Company. So, dapat, ano ang ginawa ni Miss B? Dininay niya talaga. Diba? Or, kung ano man, inadmit na niya dapat, tapos nagpali siya ng third-party complaint in pleading XYZ. Diba? So yun, hindi mo pwedeng ilalagay sa answer mo na dinedeny mo, pero you're passing liability. Kasi dapat pag nag-deny ka, ang dinedeny may allegations. Diba? And you need to deny each material allegation in the complaint. Diba? Kasi under Rule 8 ulit, diba? Allegations not specifically denied are deemed admitted. Material averment in the complaint, other than those as to the amount of unliquidated damages, shall be deemed admitted when not specifically denied. It was not specifically denied in this scenario because she did not set forth, she did not set forth, di ba? Yung matters upon which he relies to support her, upon which she relies to support her denial. She did not. Okay? She just passed on, shifted the liability to another person, but she essentially admitted everything that was or that were stated in the allegations sa complaint. Inadmit niya lahat. Diba? Okay. So if the answer did not make a proper defense to the allegations in the complaint, a motion for judgment on the pleadings is a proper remedy for the plaintiff. Why? Sinabi ko na nga, no? Because material averments in a pleading asserting a claim or claims other than those as to the amount of unliquidated damages shall be deemed admitted when not specifically denied. Okay, so nirecap ko na rin dito kung ano yung nabanggit ko na rin, no? Negative defense, absolute denial, partial denial, denial by disavowal of knowledge. No? Okay? Affirmative defense then. By the way, ito tanong. If the defendant only raised, nag-raise siya ng isang affirmative defense. So ano po ang negative defense, di ba? Pag negative defense, sinasabi mo, I deny whatever is stated in the complaint. You deny everything. Yun yung negative defense. Ngayon, kailangan each material allegation doon, i-deny mo. Otherwise, hindi mo na i-deny sa iyong answer, deemed admitted. Okay, so pwede kang absolute denial, pwedeng partial denial, pwedeng denial by disavowal of knowledge. Ang affirmative defense naman po, you hypothetically admit portions ng allegations ng complaint. But, itong affirmative defense na to, you would nevertheless prevent or bar recovery. by the complainant, by the plaintiff, by the complainant, by the plaintiff. You admit, you hypothetically admit, but you would never, but the defendant would nevertheless, but the plaintiff would nevertheless not recover anything from you. So what if ganun po? Plaintiff, lagay na answer. Naglagay na answer. Plaintiff, nag-file ng complaint, allegations. Defendant, isa lang ang ni-raise niya na defense. Ano yun? Sabi niya, improper venue po. Yun lang. Wala siyang sinabi about sa, hindi siya nag-negative defense, hindi niya dininay yung allegations ng complaint. Hindi niya nilagay. Basta nilagay niya, improper venue po. Kasi hindi naman namin residence yung pinag-filean ng kaso. Tanong, pwede ba mag-judgment on the pleadings? Pwede ba mag-judgment on the pleadings? Ito po yung next. No. Hindi po pwedeng mag-judgment, motion for judgment on the pleadings kasi it tendered an issue. What's the issue? Whether the venue is proper or improper. That's an issue. That's a valid issue. Di ba? So, hindi ka pwede mag-judgment on the pleadings kasi nga judgment on the pleadings, basically, home run na yan for the plaintiff. Hindi paano kung improper talaga yung venue? De-dismiss yung kaso. So, you cannot. Ang mangyayari dyan, magkakaroon ng hearing determining yung affirmative defense. Mag-set po, pwedeng ideally mag-set ng hearing yung discretion ng trial court. Mag-set sila ng hearing. Diba? In order to determine if the affirmative defense was meritorious or not, warranting the dismissal of the action. Hindi judgment on the pleadings, walang home run. Kasi kung, di ba, may talo yung plaintiff eh. No? Okay, so tandaan nyo ha, kahit isang affirmative defense lang nag-raise, okay na yan. Kasi the answer tendered an issue. The answer tendered an issue. Okay? Sige. Another is payment. Ano yan? Ano niya? That's an affirmative defense. Prescription is an affirmative defense. Inadmit mo na may utang, pero prescribe na yung cause of action. That's an affirmative defense. May inamin ka eh. Ano pa? Unenforceability under the statute of frauds. Unenforceable contract under the statute of frauds. Voidable contract. Yeah. Okay. Maraming affirmative defenses, no? Okay, sige. Ngayon, di ba nag-raise po ng affirmative defense, no? So sabi niya, sabi ng plaintiff, ito, may utang sa akin, di nagbayad, and so on and so forth. Upon demand. Defendant, nag-file ng answer ngayon. Sinerve din yung answer. Ang kanya, improper venue lang. Wala nang ibang nilagay. Wala nang ibang nilagay. Hindi niya dininay yung may utang siya. Hindi niya dininay na nagkaroon ng demand letter na sinend sa kanya. Hindi niya dininay na hindi siya nagbayad. Wala siyang dininay. Sinabi lang niya improper venue. What's the remedy of the plaintiff in that scenario? Pwedeng mag-file po ng motion for summary judgment. Diba? Provided that there is no genuine issue as to a material fact. Okay? Any material fact, no? Yun po ang magiging niya. Yun po ang magiging remedy, no? If there is no issue. No genuine issue as to any material fact. We will discuss this later, no? More on this later. Sa Rule 35, no? Rule 35. Yep, Rule 35. Okay. So, let's move muna, no? So, what is the effect if the motion is granted? Okay? If the motion is granted, the court will render a judgment based only on the pleadings of the parties. No? Yun lang. Pleadings lang. Kaya nga judgment on the pleadings eh. Diba? Wala nang iba pa. Okay? Note, the motion for judgment on the pleadings is different from the judgment of the pleadings itself. Tandaan nyo ha. Kasi ang mangyayari po dyan, i-grant muna yung motion. Later on, magkakaroon ng judgment itself on the pleadings. Kaiba yan. May order, may judgment. Yung order po, yun yung order granting the motion. hindi pa agad magkakaroon ng judgment in favor of the plaintiff. No? Gagrant mo ni order and then later on magkakaroon ng judgment on the pleadings. The grant of the motion is an interlocutory order. And the grant of the same will not necessarily mean that the plaintiff will prevail in the action. Pero of course, common sense lang, mag-prevail yan. Inamin lahat ng answer ng defendant. Pero theoretically speaking, it does not necessarily mean that the plaintiff will prevail in the action. What's a scenario na hindi mananalo yung plaintiff? Sabihin natin, motu proprio, nakita ng court, lack of jurisdiction over the subject matter pala kami. Talo pa din, dismiss ang kaso. Kahit na inamin na lahat ng defendant, yung sinabi ng plaintiff, walang jurisdiction over the subject matter, di ba? Ang jurisdiction over the subject matter, it is not subject to the agreement of the parties or the acquiescence. Di ba? Nila. No? Acquiescence of the court din, no. Kasi conferred by law. Kung may nakita nga ng court, wala pala jurisdiction over the subject matter. So kahit nag-grant yung order, nag-grant yung motion, nagkaroon ng order, di ba? Na magkakaroon ng judgment on the pleadings, pwedeng may talo pa din. Although normally and usually, no, panalo na syempre yung plaintiff. No? Okay. So it does not necessarily mean that the plaintiff will prevail in the action. It only means that the court will render a judgment based on the pleadings of the parties. Okay? So, kaya ko po dinifferentiate yung grant of the motion in the judgment itself para malaman natin yung ibig sabihin ng Section 2, Rule 34. Under Section 2, Rule 34, any action of the court on a motion for judgment on the pleadings shall not be subject of an appeal, certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng any action of the court on a motion? Yan po yung grant of the motion or denial of the motion. Hindi po yan yung judgment itself. Kasi yung judgment itself, that is appealable. Kasi final order po yan. Final judgment yan. It completely disposes of the case. Pero yung action ng court on the motion, that is an interlocutory order. Kaya po hindi pwedeng i-appeal. Additionally, hindi rin pwedeng i-certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus. What's the reason? For speedy and efficient disposition of cases. Kasi tama, interlocutory order So normally, since hindi ka pwede mag-appeal, ano ang remedy? Normally, nag-grant ng defendant. Certiorari mo para ma-delay yung eventual judgment on the pleadings. O hindi rin pwede. Hindi rin pwede. So, ayan. So, nakalagay din po pala dyan, any action. Another pa palang topic dyan, any action. So, whether i-grant yung motion or i-deny yung motion, hindi pwedeng i-appeal. Hindi pwedeng i-certiorari. So, pag dineny yung motion, talo yung plaintiff. Di ba? Hindi pwedeng i-appeal ng plaintiff, hindi pwedeng i-certiorari ng plaintiff. Ginrant yung motion, hindi pwedeng i-appeal ng defendant, hindi pwedeng i-certiorari ng defendant. Hindi pwede. Tuloy tayo sa kaso. Dapat magkaroon ng judgment on the pleadings itself later on. Okay? Tandaan natin. Yan po ang context ng Section 2, Rule 34. Not the judgment itself, but the order on the motion. Okay? Yun yung action of the court. Uulitin ko yung judgment mismo, pwede mong i-appeal. Uulitin ko. Okay? Yung judgment on the pleadings itself, sabihin natin na grant, nagkaroon ng judgment on the pleadings, appealable. Kasi complete disposal of the case. Malamang with prejudice na yan. Tapos na yung kaso, granted O di, pag nagkaroon ng judgment on the pleadings, panalo yung plaintiff. On the merits, appealable. Okay? Tandaan nyo po, Tandaan natin. Kaiba. Okay? So what are the remedies of the defendant? The possible remedies are motion for reconsideration and or raise it later on appeal after judgment on the merits. No? The judgment on the merits, when will it happen? Once there is a judgment on the pleadings itself. Okay? Sige. Ay, wait lang. Dito. Ulit. Delete. Ayan. What's the effect if the motion is denied? No? So, natalo yung plaintiff sa motion niya. Basically, panalo yung defendant. No? Denied ang motion for judgment on the pleadings. If the motion is denied, the case will proceed. Tuloy tayo sa kaso. So, pwedeng magkaroon na ng pre-trial later on. No? Or, ano ba? Yeah, ganun, no? Ganun. Any action of the court ulit on a motion for judgment on the pleadings, inulit ko lang, shall not be subject of an appeal or a petition for certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus. Inulit ko lang po yan. So what are the remedies of the plaintiff? Same thing. Deny yung motion mo, i-DMR mo, wala naman problema. Pero hindi mo pwedeng i-appeal yung denial of the motion. Why? Kasi interlocutory order. Hindi mo rin pwedeng i-certiorari as provided ng Section 2 Rule 34. So, the remedy mo lang is proceed with the case and raise it later on appeal after judgment on the merits. Tutuloy ko pala ito. No? Proceed with the hearing. And raise it later. Okay. Mas maganda yan. So, the remedies are the same for the plaintiff and the defendant.